and welcome into Coleman today. I'm Debbie Wood, and our very special guest this morning, Bridgette Chandler. She is here today. She's the fundraising chairman for the Share Club right here in Coleman, and I hope I got that right. Is that correct,
yes,
fundraising?
Yes.
Well, it's so good to have you with us this morning, and this is something, Bridgette, that we always look forward to each and every year for the Share Club to put this on for our community, because it's just a fun time, isn't it, to be able to go?
It's wonderful. It's a great experience for all who participate and attend. We are so thankful for our homeowners who volunteer. Each year it's generally different homeowners. This is the first year in several years that we have gone back to a Christmas tour.
Okay.
We've had spring tours and other things in the past.
You've had garden tours too, also, haven't you? And everybody loves that.
So we're happy to be back to the Christmas season and have the homes on tour. And as I said, we have some gracious homeowners who have volunteered and put so much work and time and energy into the tour. So we're thankful to have them.
It does take a lot of time, doesn't it,
Yes.
to do that. Let's talk a little bit about Share Club and a little bit of the history.
Okay.
I know you have a lot of members, and you always, when you do your fundraisers, it always benefits hospice, but also you've added one.
Yes. Well, Share Club was established in 1972, and we still have 6 active charter members. So for an organization that's been around that long, I would say that's pretty good statistics and numbers. In addition, we have 35 other active members who I would say that we're a diverse group.
Right.
Very busy ladies who are involved in lots of other activities, but some of the most community-minded and giving ladies that I've ever met. So it's a great organization to be a part of, because you have the opportunity to meet folks that you might not would ever interact with.
Sure.
Because like I said, we are such a diverse group. There are members with young children all the way to those with grandchildren and empty nesters, and those of us that have kids everywhere in between.
Exactly.
So, but as I said, all of the members are very involved. Even though I serve as the chairperson for the fundraiser,
right.
Everyone is actively involved in putting the tour together. It's very much a hands-on project where we have members selling tickets and members doing different roles and responsibilities.
So you just come together and just make it work, don't you? It's just such a wonderful Share Club of Coleman, and of course presents a Christmas tour of homes. It's coming up now pretty soon. It'll be the week after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it's upon us. That's what we're doing. Like, it's here. So everybody is very excited, as I said, and the ticket sales have been wonderful. I mean, our community is wonderful to support the efforts that we have for fundraising. In addition to actually, the proceeds from the tour, as we said, they benefit Hospice of Coleman County and Good Samaritan Health Clinic.
Okay.
And but in addition to that, Share Club also, we do monthly collection of items needed that we give to hospice that are needed for the patients. And then there are other organizations and different things that we support in smaller ways throughout the year, and just kind of as community needs arise. If someone comes to us and or a member presents a need that we're aware of, and it may not be, it could be financial support, but also physically getting involved in activities and supporting some of the projects that other members are more involved in, that like I said, they bring to us and they make us aware of. And so as just a great group who want to help and want to do what we can for the community.
Absolutely. And hospice, as we all know, Hospice of Coleman County is the only nonprofit hospice in our community. So there are already so many needs, or always so many needs in that program, and this is one way to benefit. And the Good Samaritan Clinic is just such a good program in our community. They always need monies too. This is, of course, I call it the little program, but it's actually your ticket. I think y'all started that a few years ago. You use this as your ticket. So when you go to each of the houses, and you don't have to go in any particular order, but as you go, then they'll just sort of check it off and on the inside. But let's talk about, of course, it's Sunday, December the 6th from 1 until 5. Tickets are just $15 donation, and we'll talk about that in a minute where you can pick them up. But as you open this up, look at some of these. I know, Bridgette, the one I'm most excited about, well, of course I'm excited about all of them, but the one that I absolutely love, and I've seen it already because I talked Trent to let me come in about a month ago, was the antique market downtown.
Okay.
So tell us about that. That's one of the ones.
Right. We have 5 homes that are on tour, and the variety in the homes is part of the interest and what we're very pleased to offer to those who want to come in. We have a new construction home out in Deer Trace,
right?
So that gives you new ideas and new things to see. And then we have a couple of historic homes, a craftsman style, and then another home that is a landmark, I would say, in our community. It's located near East Elementary School, and just a lovely, lovely historic home that at one time was more Victorian style,
right?
And then it has changed a little over the years. And then we have another home that's out in Magic Farms, a lovely estate home. And then, as you said, we have a loft home, the Weigel home that is there at the antique market. So the variety is there.
Yes.
And these homeowners, while they've been so gracious and just offered up their homes, but they're busy right now. I've said this over and over. We're thinking about our Thanksgiving menus and making sure that our families can all gather together.
That's
and
right.
These homeowners, they're already decorating for Christmas and have been for quite some time, and getting ready for the tour. So we can't thank them enough for what they're doing for us.
So much work goes into it.
But yes, you can go into any order when you go in. When you're participating in the tour and you're going through the homes, it's any order that you choose, and then we actually will have tickets for sale at each home the day of the tour. So if something were to come up and you're available and you didn't think you were going to be, and you don't have a ticket, then you can just show up and pay at the door and give your donation there, and you'll get your ticket. And the ticket is the brochure, as you said, and it has a map inside so that in case you're not familiar with the areas, you can find that. There's a description of the homes just to help you out. The tickets this year are perforated, and this is something new and different that we're doing as well. As I guess a gift back, a thank you back, is we will have a door prize, a drawing at the end of the tour that will come from the ticket stubs that you turn in at each home. So when you go into the home and you leave your ticket for entering, then you'll be entered into the drawing. And so at the conclusion of the tour, there will be a drawing for a very nice door prize for the participants. Wonderful. So that's something a little different that we haven't done in the past.
Sure, I love that.
And adding to that. But then what I would really like to draw attention to as well is our community partners. We like to list these folks because this is another group that we would not be able to do not just the tour, but the other activities and things that we do for the community without our community partners. And these are the local businesses and families who contribute financially to help us to be able to put on the tour.
To be able to do
Yes, and so those are listed on the back of the program.
And after you take a look at this, after you buy your ticket and take a look, if you see these folks out or if you run into them in their businesses, thank them for doing this, because I'm telling you, really, really does make a big difference. And the families that benefit from hospice, the families that benefit from Good Samaritan, it's just amazing that we're able to help and do so much for the community. I want to go back very quickly, and we're going to, and of course you told that there was one at Deer Trace, but let's get the names of the homes if we could very quickly, and then that way people, because a lot of people might know that particular home.
They might be interested. Well, we have the Helms home in Deer Trace, and it is, again, like I said, the new construction. This family moved into their home in April of this year.
Oh, neat.
And so what you'll find there is a very family-friendly space. This is a family with small children, and so get some different ideas and things, again, in with the newer maybe trends and things that are on trend right now in homes. And so just a neat space to go through. And then we have the Lambert home that's on 1st Street, and this is one of our historic homes. It's a 1939 craftsman home, and it is just beautiful. The curb appeal of the home, you have probably noticed it if you've driven down 1st Street Northeast before.
It's over by the old hospital, isn't it?
Right. It's kind of a mustardy color.
Love the color.
It is beautiful. It's a beautiful home. And then we have the Mann home that is the historic home I mentioned that's near East Elementary School. And
love it too. And like you said, it was a lot more Victorian, but it's sort of transitioned.
Right, over time, yes.
Love it. It's beautiful.
And post tornadoes, as we often mark kind of, in history when we mark things that have happened. Here in Coleman, we'll say, well, before the tornado or after the tornado. And so most everybody understands what we're saying by that. But post the tornadoes that came through town, the Manns had added a new garage because they did lose an outbuilding that was part of the original home.
Right.
And so they did just very, very minor changes, and they were blessed to not have more damage to their home, and so it was preserved. Something new though that they have done is they have renovated the cellar, and it is now a wine cellar, and so that was something they've been able to do, and that part will be.
Will we be able to see that? Okay,
yes, you'll get
wonderful.
to see that during the tour. The Nocetta home is the home that's out at Magic Farm, and it's just filled with so many unique items and things to see. The construction of the Nocetta home, there was lots of wood that was gathered from the family's property that was used in the actual construction, and then there's salvaged I guess one of the focal points that you will see is there's a cross window that was salvaged from an 1800s church out of Iowa that the homeowner actually drove up and got the window and brought it back, and the room was kind of built around this window. So that is something that you will see, but lots of very eclectic style, but so many personal touches, and local craftsmen that built the home and who worked with the materials and so forth. And then, as again going back to the loft, and I have not been in the loft yet, so that you've been there and you've got to see it firsthand. But Edgar and Beth Weigel purchased that particular property. In the beginning, from what she shares with us, it was not they did not plan to move and build their loft, but then it evolved into that over time. And so she has shared a little bit of the challenges of building in such a tight space. with open, active businesses around, and being where they are. But I'm sure that it's turned into something wonderful.
Just wonderful. And I think, like you said, everyone is gearing up and getting decorated and this kind of thing. So she had her folks in there last week doing that. And but we were actually there recently to do a segment downstairs, and we just sort of took a sneak peek. So you're going to love it. And like we were just talking about, Bridgette was talking about all the different homes, different styles, different ideas to get. And not only are we helping Hospice and Good Samaritan, but we're also getting great ideas that we could take back and do in our own homes.
Right, that's what we hear from so many folks who tour through the homes. Again, it's been a while since we've had the Christmas tour. That's right. But in the past, when we've had our spring tour, folks will say, well, I just like to come in and get ideas. And I just want to get some refreshers or something that I could apply and use in my home. And so going back to the variety, I think that's why we like that and we value that, and when homeowners offer to be on the tour. Because we all live in different homes, and we have different needs at different times, and so to get those ideas and share them. On the cover, just a little bit of information that we added on the cover of the brochure, and that is the ticket. We called this we did a section called A History of Helping, because again, a Share Club has been around since 1972, but it was established as an organization, a women's group, part of the Women's Federation originally of women's clubs, but to bring together the like-minded ladies who wanted to be able to contribute and do things for the community. So we do have a very rich history of helping. So you can read a little bit about that there too whenever you pick up your ticket, just with some of the organizations that have benefited. But to date, we have on just strictly financial contributions, we have contributed over $169,000 to local organizations such as Hospice of Coleman County.
Wonderful. Now, where can we get our tickets? And like you said, we can get them at the door. If for some reason we don't know for sure if we're going to be here, we can get them the day of the tour. But if we want to go ahead and get them, maybe give them as a gift or whatever, how do we go about doing it?
There are several local businesses who have tickets in their business for us. Let me think back through the ones that are available. From the Heart has tickets available there, and Hagen Real Estate, Advantage Real Estate, Hankey Service and Auto. think who else
Love Jamie.
has them. I know.
That's where I
I have
go
to
all
think.
the time.
Oh, and of course, Added Touch.
Yes.
And Added Touch 2 that is down in the
Right
Warehouse
downtown,
District.
both places,
Right. So
okay.
both places have tickets available there.
All right.
I'm trying to
So
think if there's
pretty
another,
much,
but there's
okay.
several locations. And then any Share Club member has
Okay.
tickets available.
Okay.
And so if you haven't been approached yet,
Right.
be ready, because we are out, selling the tickets
Ready to do.
and promoting them. And then I would like to add that on Facebook,
Okay.
we have a Share Club of Coleman Facebook page, and so we have been putting information concerning the tour. You can follow that on and you just go to Facebook, and it's Share Club of Coleman.
Okay, wonderful.
And so lots of information there with where to get tickets, and we have made contact with folks who maybe didn't know who were Share Club members.
Right.
So that was a place that they could go to and ask
good.
to get their tickets.
Who's part of it and where you can get those
Yes.
tickets. Bridgette, thank you for what you've done
Sure.
for the community and putting all the time and energy into this. And thanks to all the ladies for doing it. I know it's just going to be a fun
Yes.
day, and we just pray for good, beautiful weather that
Yes,
day.
thank
Cool
you.
but beautiful.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you,
Thank
Bridgette.
you.
And of course, Bridgette Chandler with us this morning. Share Club of Coleman presents a Christmas tour of homes. It will be on Sunday, December the 6th from 1 until 5. Tickets are just $15 donation. We'll be back with more of Coleman Today right after this.